Because it is December, we have to start considering Christmas gifts for the runners in our life. Now, sometimes people can be hard to buy for, but fortunately for you, as a runner myself, I'm going to give you guys 15 things I know a runner in your life would love. Roll the intro! If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Brendon and I upload videos multiple times a week all about the sport of running, so if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button right down below. It would really mean a lot. And if you're down there, maybe hit the like button. Helps get this video to more people and helps the channel out so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, let's get into my Christmas list. Starting off with a Christmas classic, and that is socks. But not just any socks. It's not the type of socks that you opened up when you were a young kid and you had to fake pretend nice and happy and say thank you to your parents, but you really just want to move on to that next gift that looks like a big Xbox or a Nintendo 64. Those were my favorite presents when I was a young kid. I don't know, maybe that's aging me. But anyway, these socks are very specific for running purposes. They have different materials that help absorb the sweat so your feet don't feel all gross and sweaty, and the cotton socks just, I don't know, once I tried running socks, I'm never going back to cotton socks when I'm out there running. If your runner hasn't tried running socks before, I can guarantee they're going to be mind blown when they put these on their feet. It may seem like a little thing, socks, but I can promise you it can make a big difference in your run. It helps me feel like my feet aren't getting all soupy and swampy, and actually helps with blisters, so that's another bonus. So yes, running socks would be a great choice for the runner in your life, and I think, like I said, they're 15 to 30 bucks for Canadian. That's Canadian prices. I'm not sure what they are in US, maybe 10 to 20, who knows. Moving on to item number 2, and that is a Flipbelt. So essentially what this is a storage solution for when you're out there running. So you can keep your car keys, your GoPro, your phone, your keys, your IDs. Make sure you have ID if you're running alone, because you never know what's gonna happen. You can keep it all in here in the Flipbelt. So pretty much how this works is you put it on your waist, and you set it and forget about it. They have these little holes in there that you stuff all your items in, and like I said, you pretty much just don't even notice that it's there. In the summer months, it does get a little sweaty, but you know what? Moving into the winter months, that's kind of welcome. And because it is the winter months, we have to be prepared for that. So number 3 is a neck gaiter. So a neck gaiter is something that is actually becoming more and more popular as like a mask solution, but I find that neck gaiters are perfect for the winter months to keep me warm. I pull it up over my face or just wear it around my neck, or even sometimes wear it around my wrist as a little sweat catcher. It's multi-purpose, I must say. This is a buff, but you can buy neck gaiters by multiple different companies. If you have a favorite YouTuber, I'm sure they have a neck gaiter that they sell on their Teespring store or whatever store they use for their merch items. So go check that out. I know for sure Kofuzi and the Ginger Runner both have neck gaiters. So before you go to Buff, go check out them to support your favorite YouTuber. Next on our list is a foam roller. Yeah, this kind of doesn't look like a fun Christmas present, and at the end of the day, it's not a fun Christmas present. Your runner is gonna be in a lot of pain, but this will definitely help them if they're first getting into running or they've been running for a while and kind of have neglected their mobility and recovery routine. A foam roller is essential to keeping them injury-free, and actually you're gonna enjoy your runs more if you do foam rolling regularly, because you're not gonna be so tight and it's not gonna feel, your rate of perceived exertion, for me, that's especially what this helps with. Being tight, my rate of perceived exertion is through the roof, but when I'm nice and limber and using the foam roller actively, it makes a world of difference in how I feel when I'm on my run. Keeping on that same note of mobility, recovery, strength work, we have a stability disc. What this is gonna do is help your runner get that ankle strength that we all so crave as runners. We don't wanna be out there and roll an ankle. That's just no fun. It will help build core strength, which will help them keep injury-free, or actually, you know what, just tell them that it will make them run faster, because that's also true. Having a strong core, being nice and stable, strong ankles. So another thing most runners will use once they start running longer distances or during races is gels and electrolytes. Electrolytes are extremely important. Make sure your runner is consuming them. If they drink a lot of water, they should be having salt or something to offset that electrolyte balance, because we pee out electrolytes and we sweat them out, so if we're not replenishing them, you gotta have them. Gels, on the other hand, are great for fast fuel. They're pretty much just sugar. Some of them have like a really toothpaste-like consistency. I used to use one called Hammer Gel, and that was more watery and smooth, which is nice, but I moved to the Goos mostly, but yes, I do still use Hammer Gel. When I run out of Goos, I use Hammer Gel. Again, there's a variety pack that you can get that I'll leave a link to down in the description. It has a bunch of different flavors. Same thing for the Scratch. I know that I love the strawberry lemonade one, so I just buy big packages, but there's a bunch of sampler packs, again, in the link to the description down below. If you know your runner likes specific flavors, pick that up, but if not, get a variety pack. I think it would make a fun little stocking stuffer. Along the same tune of fuel for runners is a handheld water bottle. Now, you may not be able to see this very well because it has green on it and I have a green screen. So pretty much what this is a, like I said, a handheld water bottle. So when you're out there running, you can put it on your hand kind of like that, and it doesn't move an inch. So you can fill it up with, I think this one's 10 ounces of fluid, and it also has a zipper pouch for you to put gels in, which is fantastic, or keys, whatever you want. But having this available to me when I'm out there for my longer runs is invaluable because I want to keep replenished and fueled, and it's not very fun to keep on running the same 1.5 kilometer loop around my house and stopping for water. Giving this gives me the flexibility to get out there for longer periods. And now that it's starting to get darker, I've been wearing my Lightvest a lot because we have to be seen out there as runners, especially for me. I run in rural areas that don't have sidewalks, so I need to be seen. I ran without this for a long period of time, and it wasn't very smart. I consider myself lucky that I didn't get in any trouble, didn't get hit by a car. It makes me feel more safe, and it allows drivers to see me and be prepared. I mean, there's not much we can do if they're looking at their phones, but we should at least have some way of letting people know we're around. And I think a Lightvest is a perfect choice. There are like headlamps and that type of stuff that you can get for your runner, and like little lights they can clip onto themselves. But I think a Lightvest is a great solution. And this one here, I think is $60 US. This is the Tracer360 Nox Gear, or Nox Gear Tracer 360. This is the Nox Gear Tracer 360, I think it's called, and it does a great job. I also use the VisiVest, which is a Canadian company that does essentially the same thing as this, but it has a light on the front, which I really appreciate. Don't know if it's available in the States, but I'll leave links to these both down below so you can make your choice. Another great option is a heart rate monitor. Now, a lot of runners may not train by heart rate, and that's totally fine. I train by heart rate just because I like to see numbers on my wrist reflect my intensity. So that could be using heart rate or nowadays running power. But for me, I've always trained by heart rate, and I found that to be the most successful way for me. A lot of runners do train by just pace, and that's totally fine. So if your runner doesn't like training by heart rate, just give them an ask beforehand. Would you like to train by heart rate? And if they say yes, and they don't have a heart rate monitor, go pick them up one. They're not very expensive. I think this one was 50 bucks. This one's, I think, $100, but this measures like your running power and all the running dynamics, things that people don't really need. All you need is a $50 heart rate monitor if you only want to run by heart rate. And if your runner does already have a heart rate monitor and they train by heart rate very regularly, Electrode Gel is a lifesaver. I just discovered this like 3 weeks ago, and it's been mind-blowing. So when you're training by heart rate in the winter months, sometimes the heart rate monitor does not give you accurate reflection of your heart rate. The reason for that is because it's so cold, and if you're doing easy runs, you're not sweating enough, so you're losing that conductive material between yourself and the heart rate monitor, so you're getting inaccurate readings. Having Electrode Gel keeps that conductive medium between yourself and the heart rate monitor and just keeps you getting accurate readings, and that's what we want. So SPECTRA360, 2 of these bottles of this size cost me 17 Canadian dollars, but I looked on Amazon and it was 10 US dollars for 2 bottles of this size. It'll last you a lifetime. This would be a great stocking stuffer for any runner that has a heart rate monitor, or if you're getting them a heart rate monitor, get them this to go along with it. They might think you're crazy giving them Electrode Gel, but I promise you, they'll appreciate it in the long run. The next one is for my friends that live in winter climate, and that is Merino wool base layers. These things aren't cheap. These were like $100 for these tights, but guys, they'll last you a lifetime, and they're so extremely comfortable. The same thing goes for the shirts here. I think it was like $110 Canadian, 110 Canadian dollars for this Merino wool base layer shirt. But like I said, it will last you, and your runner will thank you. This stuff is extremely comfortable. It kind of just fits your body. I thought initially when I put them on, there's no way this is gonna keep me warm. But I went out for a run the other night in like -1 degree Celsius weather in just these tights, and I was fine. I was actually sweating. I almost had to take my jacket off, but I realized that if I did that, I'll just freeze to death. So the Merino wool base layers are clutch. They are so nice. Absolutely love mine. And yes, I think your runner will love theirs as well. Next on the list is a massage gun. And some of you might be thinking, oh, massage guns, they don't do anything. They don't work. And I probably would have agreed with you 4 weeks ago, like a month ago, before I got this. And guys, this has changed the way that I do recovery. It feels, you know what, I don't know if it's like psychological or if it's actually doing something, but my body feels so much more limber and nimble, and I can just go out there and I feel like I'm dancing with every step, rather than when my body's super tight. It feels like it's just like a metal rod yanking on each other. My biomechanics is just not good. The Theragun here has been absolutely fantastic, but I will say I don't think Theraguns would be the best one for you to get. Now that I've done more research, there's a bunch of other cheaper options that I think would do just as well. There's a couple of great YouTubers named Bob and Brad, and they have a massage gun that I think would do just as well, if not better, than this Theragun Prime. This one here was 300 Canadian dollars on sale on the Black Friday sale. The Bob and Brad one I think is 120 US dollars, and Kofuzi has a great review of it, and from what he says, it seems like it's a great option and you're not going to be breaking the bank for it. So yes, a massage gun is a great option for any runner of any skill level, in my humble opinion. The next thing on our list is wireless earbuds, and I actually can't find mine right now. I think they're in my running bag, which is right over there, but I don't want to get up and look for them. I used the Jabra 75T Elites, and they've been absolutely fantastic. I didn't bother buying the active version just because the 75T is rated for like rain and sweat and stuff, so I figured why spend the extra money? But any wireless earbud will be absolutely fantastic for any runner. Now for me, I should probably not buy expensive wireless earbuds just because I tend to lose them frequently. And the Jabra 75Ts aren't cheap. Right now they're 200 Canadian dollars on sale, but typically they're like 240 Canadian dollars, not cheap. And the worst part about this one for me is that I replaced the Powerbeats Pro with these because I lost my Powerbeats Pro. But the Powerbeats Pro are another great option for runners. It has a little hook, but they're more expensive. Now, at this point, the Jabra 65T Actives are 100 Canadian dollars, I think it was. I think it was 100 Canadian dollars if I'm not mistaken. I'll leave a link to all this stuff down below. And the 65Ts, from what I hear, are just as good as the 75Ts. And you know what, guys? I love my 75Ts, so if they're anywhere near it, I think you'll be perfectly fine. But if your runner is prone to losing things such as myself, just look for a cheap pair on Amazon and you'll be totally fine, and they'll like it. I'm sure they will, because no one likes having to connect. Well, I guess most phones don't even have auxiliary cables anymore, but it makes that so much easier, not having wires flipping everywhere. I love my wireless earbuds, and I'm sure they will as well. Next on our list is a running watch. If your runner doesn't have a GPS running watch, definitely consider getting them one. Now, this wouldn't be like a stocking stuffer by any means. This would be a full-blown gift, so make sure that they don't have a running watch beforehand, because there's no need to have two. Now, if they're a new runner and they don't need like the best of the best, I would definitely recommend like a Garmin Forerunner 45. Those are like the lower end GPS running watches from Garmin, and they'll do everything that they need to do. I think it even has an optical heart rate monitor, but it can connect heart rate monitor sensors to it, so it's not a big deal. I think that is a great first starter edition running watch. Now, if you want to get more fancy, you can get into like the Garmin Forerunner 945s or the Garmin Fenix 5 like I have, but then you're spending money. That is a commitment and a half. Before you get into that, make sure your runner is gonna actually stick to running or do triathlon or something before they get these very expensive watches that, honestly, they have so many features that I don't even know what they do. So that's just my 2 cents. Don't get them a very expensive running watch if they're just getting started. Just have a conversation with them to get their level of commitment to running. And last but not least is a GoPro Hero 7, Hero 8, or Hero 9. Now, this isn't for every runner. This is for the aspiring filmmaker, YouTuber, run vlogger, whatever. A GoPro is a great option for them. Now, what I think is so powerful about YouTube and all this stuff and run vlogging is you're able to track your progression. You can see in that video that you made a year ago where you were compared to where you are a year from now. And also you can build a community to make connections with and speak about running and grow your passion for the sport. That's what I love the most about YouTube, is that I'm meeting other runners and I can speak about things that my girlfriend doesn't necessarily like and my friends don't necessarily like, but my friends on YouTube all love running and we can have great chats about it. I love it so much, and maybe your runner will too. So a GoPro is a great option for them if they want to film themselves. If not, then don't get this. This is not for them. And that is all for my 2020 version of the Christmas list. Cheers to you folks. That was a good time. I do say so. Oh, now I hope you all did enjoy that list. I very much enjoyed making it for you. Hope you enjoyed the fireplace, the crackling of it. It's very warm in here now due to the fireplace, so I'm gonna turn that off. And you know what, guys? I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, holiday season, whatever you celebrate. Hope it's fantastic. I will catch you in the next video. See ya later.